In section 2, we're going to start talking about operations with rational expressions. We're going to start with multiplying and dividing. So the way you multiply rational expressions is the exact same way you multiply fractions. So if you have two fractions, a over c times b over d, you multiply straight across and it becomes ab over cd, where c and d cannot equal 0 because then you'd be dividing by 0, which cannot happen. The way it is slightly different for rational expressions is that we may want to factor first. We're not necessarily going to multiply and distribute out, but it's the same basic concept as when you multiply fractions. So let's look at our first example. We have 8x over 21y cubed times 7y squared over 16x cubed. So when you're multiplying two monomials, you have two options. You can either simplify first, multiply, and see if it needs simplifying again, or you can just multiply and then simplify once. I like to multiply and then just simplify once. So I'm going to multiply my numerators, 8x times 7y squared, and 8 times 7 is 56, and then x times y squared is just xy squared. In the denominator, we're going to do 21 times 16, which is 336, and then y cubed times x cubed just becomes x cubed, y cubed. It doesn't matter which one I put first, it's just because I put x first in the numerator, I want to put x first in the denominator. Now I want to simplify. So I want to find the biggest number that goes into 56 and 336. And I always like to try the numerator. So 336 is divisible by 56, and it becomes 6. Now I'm going to simplify my x's just like we did in section 1. So I can get rid of one of the x's in the numerator, and there be still left 2 in the denominator. And I can get rid of both y's in the numerator, and I'm going to be left with just one y in the denominator. So in my numerator, I have simplified everything. So it's not like my numerator disappears. I just now have 1 in the numerator. It does not just disappear altogether. And in my denominator, I have 6, and then I have x squared, and then I have a y. You can't just get rid of a numerator in a fraction if everything simplifies or cancels. It still has to have that 1. Now let's look at more common examples we're going to be looking at, where we have binomials or polynomials in your numerator denominator and we want to multiply. So I have 1 plus 3n over 2n times 2n minus 4 over 3n squared minus 2n minus 1. So when we multiply here, we don't actually want to multiply and distribute. What we want to do is factor and simplify and then write our final answer as a single fraction. So my first fraction, 1 plus 3n all over 2n, there's no factoring I can do there. So it's going to stay 1 plus 3n all over 2n. Then for my second fraction, 2n minus 4, there's a GCF there. So I'm going to factor out the 2, and I'm left with n minus 2. And in my denominator, we have 3n squared minus 2n minus 1. Now, if I want to factor that, I'm going to have to use my box method. So we have our 3n squared and our negative 1. So when I do 3 times negative 1, I get negative 3. So I'm looking for the numbers that multiply to negative 3 and add to negative 2, which is going to be negative 3 and 1. We have negative 3n and 1n. So 3n squared and negative 3n have a GCF of 3n. 1n and negative 1 have a GCF of 1. 3n squared and 1n have a GCF of n. And then negative 3n and negative 1 have a GCF of negative 1. So my denominator is now 3n plus 1 times n minus 1. So now I look for anything that I can cancel. Now, 1 plus 3n and 3n plus 1 are the same thing because the order of addition doesn't matter. So those are going to cancel. N minus 2 and n minus 1, can't cancel that. Now I'm looking for anything that can simplify. So the 2 that I factored out of the 2n minus 4 and the 2 that is just being multiplied by n, I can go ahead and simplify those. Those are both divisible by 2. They're going to end up canceling and both become 1. So now the only thing I have left in my numerator is n minus 2. And in my denominator, I still have an n and I have an n minus 1. And that is going to be my final answer. I'm not going to do any distributing in my denominator. I am going to leave it completely in factored form. Our next example, we have x squared minus 16 over x plus 2 times x squared plus 3x plus 2 all over x squared minus 3x minus 4. So x squared minus 16 is a difference of squares. It's going to factor as x plus 4, x minus 4. And in the denominator, we have x plus 2. Our numerator, x squared plus 3x plus 2. There's only one way to multiply to 2. That's 2 times 1, and 2 plus 1 is 3. So it factors as x plus 2, x plus 1. And then in the denominator, x squared minus 3x minus 4. I'm looking for what multiplies to negative 4 and adds to negative 3. And that's going to be x minus 4, x plus 1. So when I look for things that can cancel, it doesn't necessarily have to be the numerator and denominator of one fraction. It can be anything in a numerator and anything in a denominator that are the same that can cancel. So my x minus 4s are going to cancel, and the x plus 1s, and the x plus 2s. So the only thing I have left is x plus 4. And I don't have to put it all over 1 because anything divided by 1 is just itself. So it's just going to be x plus 4. The next thing we're going to look at is division. So division is very similar to multiplication, but there's one extra step in the beginning. So we don't like to divide fractions. Dividing fractions are not fun. So what we're going to do is we are going to rewrite a division problem as a multiplication problem. And the way we do that is we keep the first fraction the same. So that would be k minus 3 over k plus 1. We change the operation to multiplication, and then we flip the second fraction. So it becomes 1 minus k squared over k squared minus 4k minus 3. So this method is called keep, change, flip. So you keep the first fraction, you change the operation to multiplication, and then you flip the second fraction. So now we have multiplication, and we're going to simplify it exactly like we did in our first examples. So I can't do anything with k minus 3 over k plus 1, so that stays. 1 minus k squared is a difference of squares. It's just a difference of squares where instead of the variable comes first, it comes second. So instead of it being k plus 1 and 1 plus k and k plus 1, k minus 1, it is now 1 plus k, 1 minus k. And then in my denominator, k squared minus 4k minus 3 is going to factor as k minus 3, k minus 1. So now I'm looking for things that can cancel. And I have a k minus 3 and a k minus 3. And I have a k plus 1 and a 1 plus k. So remember, we talked about how the order of addition doesn't matter, so those are the exact same thing. And that leaves me with 1 minus k over k minus 1, which cannot cancel, but it is going to simplify. So this is a very, very special case where the numerator and the denominator are exact opposites of each other. So I can rewrite 1 minus k as negative k plus 1. It's the exact same thing, I've just rewritten it so the k comes first. So if I'm comparing that to the denominator, I have a negative k and a positive k, and I have a positive 1 and a negative 1. So these don't really cancel so much as they simplify. And when they simplify, I'm left with a negative 1 since they're both since they're just opposites of one another. So my final answer is just going to be -1. Our second example, we have 2x plus 6 over x squared plus x minus 2 divided by x plus 3 over x squared plus 3x plus 2. So I don't do any kind of factoring before I do the keep change flip. So we're going to have 2x plus 6 over x squared plus x minus 2 times x squared plus 3x plus 2 over x plus 3. Now I'm going to start factoring. So 2x plus 6, I have a GCF. I'm going to factor out the 2. We have x plus 3. In our denominator, we're looking for what multiplies to -2 and adds to 1. So we're going to have x plus 2, x minus 1. And for x squared plus 3x plus 2, I'm looking for what multiplies to 2 and adds to +3, which would be x plus 2, x plus 1, and then my denominator of x plus 3. So I have an x plus 3 in my numerator and denominator that are going to cancel, and I have an x plus 2 in my numerator and denominator. So I'm left with 2 and x plus 1 in my numerator, and in my denominator I have x minus 1. And that's going to be my final answer. And in this case, the x plus 1 and the x minus 1 do not simplify to give me -1 because while the 1's are opposites, the x's are not. They have the same sign. If I'd had -x plus 1 and x minus 1, then they would have simplified, but they don't in this case. And then for our last example, we'll do a division example with monomials. So we have 12yz over 10yz squared. We'll change it to multiplication, and then it becomes 4z over 5y squared z. And just like the first example I did, I'm going to multiply first. So 12 times 4 is 48, and then yz times z is yz squared. In the denominator, 10 times 5 is 50. Yz squared times y squared z is y cubed z cubed. Now I'm going to do some simplifying. 48 and 50 are both divisible by 2. So 48 becomes 24, 50 becomes 25. There is 1y in the numerator that's going to cancel with 1y in the denominator, leaving us with 2 y's. Both my z's are going to simplify, and I'm left with 1z in the denominator. So in my numerator, the only thing I have left is 24, and in the denominator, I have 25y squared z. So let me know if you have any questions about multiplying or dividing rational expressions, whether that's the factoring part, how you cancel things, or the keep change flip for division.